It's officially the holiday season, and there's no better way to get into the festive spirit than settling down by a crackling fire for some small screen pies, cakes, cookies, and croquembouche, courtesy of Food Network. And here to tell us more about this year's Fa-La-La-La lineup is our very own Xfinity TV editor, Sammy. Sammy, what do you got for us?
Thank you, David. Very good puns. If you are looking for the sugar and spice to make your TV viewing nice this holiday season, look no further than the Food Network holiday lineup that just launched this week. Starting with my favorite of the bunch, Holiday Baking Championship, which airs tonight and every Monday, hosted by the legend that is Duff Goldman and Top Chef's Carla Hall. Then, to make you feel terrible about your attempts at cookie decorating, is the Christmas Cookie Challenge. Airs new episodes every Thursday, hosted by Ree Drummond and Eddie Jackson. And of course, just like its sister seasonal series, Halloween Wars, is Holiday Wars, hosted by Jeff Mara with judges Shimin Lin and Artie Sequeira. Cake and sugar artists compete in creating incredible displays of new episodes every Sunday. Just say what to watch or Food Network into your voice remote to tune in.
Thank you, Sammy. Well, you know, it's not only the holiday season, it is also election season, and tomorrow is November 7th, aka Election Day. Maddie, Sammy, I know you're both big fans of the Food Network and its seemingly endless array of talented cooks, chefs, and food experts. If you had to hit the campaign trail on behalf of one single Food Network star and tell America why they are the single best Food Network star of all time, who would you choose, and why are they the king or queen of cuisine? Sammy, I will start with you.
All right. I am here to talk about my love of Alton Brown. I should preface that I have been obsessed with Alton Brown since high school and used to rewatch episodes of Good Eats in bed on the Food Network app on my iPod Touch. For Hanukkah one year, I got tickets to see his show, do a meet and greet and a book signing, and it was a highlight of my entire life.
Wow.
Yes. But Alton Brown, he is the best. He is the king of Food Network because he does not have time for anything subpar. Or any like cheesy guest judge spots. If Alton Brown is in something, I know it's going to be quality. Examples: Good Eats, Cutthroat Kitchen, which should never have been canceled, Next Iron Chef America, all top-class, top-notch Food Network programming. He is the perfect mix of funny, quirky, and intensely educated about food and history of food. And I also really appreciate his sass. He's practical, knowledgeable, and respected, and that is why I'm asking for your vote, America, why Alton Brown is #1 on Food Network and in my heart.
Sammy, Cutthroat Kitchen is one of the best competition series of any channel and genre.
So good. When they wheel out the toy kitchen that a world-class chef needs to cook a meal using like teeny tiny tyke knives, is just, it was the best. I really miss that show.
It's really, really good.
I hate to say it.
Oh no.
I do not know who this man is. Sorry to this man.
No!
Maddie!
I recognize his face, but I've never seen an episode of Cutthroat Kitchen. I don't know what you're describing with these toys that they have to use to cook food. He's not sticking for me, Sammy. I'm sorry. That's my rebuttal on the debate stage. Then it's news to me.
I just teed you up as a big fan of Food Network, Maddie.
I was going to address that in my opening statements.
All right. Well, thank you, Sammy. I agree with you. Alton is excellent. Maddie, let's go for it. Who is your favorite Food Network star?
Okay, so let's just be known that I pitched this segment and I probably watched the least amount of the Food Network. I watched 2 shows exclusively, and none other than Ted Allen is the host of my favorite, which is, dare I say, the flagship Food Network show in Chopped. Is that fair to say?
100%.
I'd say that's fair.
Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't have a bad read on this now, because Yeah, Ted is holding down the fort. He is a national treasure. I really hope I got a good read on this. I don't know now. I'm really nervous. I think this is common knowledge, but if it's not, Ted got his big break as the food and wine connoisseur in Bravo's Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. So basically, he paved the way for Anthony for the new iteration of Queer Eye, who was another one of my favorite humans. So Anthony would not exist without my boy Ted. So appreciate that, Ted. But the main reason I love him is for hosting Chopped. Since its inception in 2009, he's so good because he's not annoying. Like, you kind of alluded to this, Sammy. So many of the judges and hosts across the Food Network are so annoying and pretentious, and I never feel that way about Ted. He drives the ship really well. He doesn't really get all up in the contestants' face while they're trying to cook. He can be funny, but not corny. Like, Beat Bobby Flay is one of the most infuriating shows. That's Food Network, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like, they're always all up in each other's face. So corny. The live studio audience is abysmal. So Food Network has a couple issues, but Ted Allen is not one of them. He can be a little bit of a snitch, which I do like. When he sees things going wrong from afar, he like gets all in the judge's ears and he's like, she is scorching that branzino. And I like that he tattletales a little bit. That's good. He does a really good job helping the viewers understand clock management because they only get 30 minutes each round. He's like the Andy Reid of, I guess, the non-Andy Reid. Andy Reid's gotten better, of the Food Network. And he gets to deliver maybe the best food competition show line, "You've been chopped." I think this rivals The Tribe Has Spoken. I think this rivals Please Pack Your Knives and Go. So for those reasons, I'm going with Ted Allen. Do you be honest? Like, do you guys like him or no?
I love Ted Allen.
Strong pick.
Okay.
No, he's great. And I love that you pointed out that he can be sort of a snitch sometimes. There's so many things, so much stuff about food that I've learned from Chopped. And I also have watched so much Chopped that I've learned what specific judges do or don't like. Like, you see someone putting raw onion on and Scott Conant is the judge. You're like, don't do that. No raw onion.
He also doesn't like fish and cheese. That's a big no-no.
Why is he a judge then? Oh my god!
There's someone it's escaping me, but someone who you should just never make pasta for because he always loathes the way the pasta is cooked. Never put truffle oil in anything because you always put too much. It's like my one of, like, I guess it's like a guilty pleasure is the absolute meltdown when someone cuts their finger and then inevitably gets blood on the plate. Happens every single time. It's
like literally like that scene in Twilight, not to bring it all back to Twilight, but when Bella gets the paper cut, it's like they can't just bleed and just kick them out right away because they're like, oh, that make it a contamination thing. Like, they make a hole. It's more dramatic than when they try to go to the ice cream maker.
That's the other thing. Never works. The ice cream maker.
Never use the ice cream maker. Never make bread pudding in the dessert round. Don't use those ceramic things. It'll never cook through.
Never use the whipped cream maker because they can never get the lid on to make their own fresh cream, or they're sitting there pushing it and spurting out. Oh my god. Bread pudding or any kind of custard that has to set in time. Don't you watch Chopped? It's never going to work.
Exactly. And like, Ted brings a little bit of the lore into that sometimes. So I'm feeling pretty good about my choice, Ted, right now, because Chopped is the flagship show, and I watch it religiously.
It's a great pick. Thank you, Maddie. All right, I'm going to bring it home with my Food Network star, and I have chosen none other than the ace of cakes himself, Mr. Duff Goldman. My fellow foodies, I stand before you today to celebrate someone who is not just a pastry chef. He is all of us. When Marie Antoinette said, "Let them eat cake," she was not referring to the starving peasants of France. She was talking about Duff Goldman. When DJ Steve Aoki throws a cake at his concert, he is not succeeding in throwing cake on a fan. He is failing to throw cake into the mouth of Duff Goldman. When Joe Jonas and DNCE sang the lyrics, "I Keep Hoping We'll Eat Cake by the Ocean. It was a tender love ballad honoring the talents of Duff Goldman. When Buddy Valastro named himself the Cake Boss, it was only because the title of Cake CEO was taken by Duff Goldman. When Jesse called Adam Banks a cake eater in the 1992 Emilio Estevez classic, The Mighty Ducks, what she meant to call him was Duff Goldman. He is a man who has starred in more than a dozen Food Network shows, including Holiday Baking Championship, Spring Baking Championship, and Summer Baking Championship. He is a man who just signed a multi-year, multi-project deal with Food Network. He is a man who not only crafts the world's greatest treats, but a man who appreciates, with every moment he appears on a Food Network screen, the execution, artistry, aromas, and flavors of the world's most perfect frosted confection, cake. So when you walk into that bakery on November 7th, don't order cupcakes, pastries, pies, or tarts. Tell them you want Duff Goldman.
I feel like I should be saluting. And a flag, a Food Network flag waving in the background.
I had one more, which is when you type the word cake into your iPhone, it auto-corrects to Duff. But I left it out, but I still liked it.
Is he a former contestant turned judge? I don't know this guy.
He's just an author. He has I believe his bakery is called Ace of Cakes, or he's just like, that's what he's known for, cakes. And he was an author and just kind of like used that into becoming a Food Network personality. He's been with them for a long time. I was telling Sammy this, one of my favorite things, I just love how much he loves tasting the food and does it with such like honesty, and it's just so wholesome. And my sister, who also loves Duff, and I talk a lot about the way he takes bites of cake. If you watch on like Holiday Baking, he always like looks up at the ceiling and takes the fork and like inserts it like directly straight back into his mouth before totally closing his mouth over the cake. And it's just like, it's always like the same way. And I don't know, I find it so endearing. Also, love that he just destroyed Buddy Valastro, the Cake Boss, on Buddy versus Duff, because I don't love the Cake Boss. He's just like so down to earth. He's just an everyman.
Exactly. I agree. He's an everyman. I used to watch when Ace of Cakes was first on Food Network. We used to watch this all the time. I have a friend actually who got an Ace of Cakes cake for her bat mitzvah. It was a big deal. I also loved his coworker Jeff on Ace of Cakes. I don't know if you remember him. He was kind of like a grumpy, squirrely kind of guy. And it was the first time that I learned you could spell Jeff with a G. Really made an impact on my life.
He's just a good dude. I always like it when he's on a panel, especially like he along with Carla Hall, like they're just so much fun together. There's a lot. I mean, Carla was an easy runner-up. I could have gone with her as well, but I felt like that was a little more obvious because who doesn't love Carla Hall? I ran into her at the train station in New York City one time, and she was so sweet and took the time to talk to me about, I think she had just been on Top Chef at the time. Anyway, they're all great, and I love Duff. The end.
Very nice. Are we picking a winner or?
No, it's for the people. It's for the people to decide.
Right. It's a democratic election. We gotta let the everybody tally, and then we'll get back to you. Yeah,
go out there and cast your vote by watching these shows on Food Network, and you can watch them all, and we'll have them up there for you to check out. Just say what to watch in your voice remote, or just say Food Network or Food Network on demand. You can find it all there. That's how you cast your vote. Go watch these stars.